gone astray in our very lives today. If I don't get some shelter, oh yeah, I'm gonna fade away. Whoa, children, it's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. Whoa, children, it's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. Oh, children. It's just a shot away. It's just a shot away. It's just a shot away.
hit the weed, I told myself the last time will be my last. I don't trust my own niggas, now my mind racing fast. Got my foot up on the gas, got 100 on the dash. If the police run up on me, I ain't stopping for their ass. Boy, you know my L's dirty. If they stop me, I'm going to jail. Surely I'll be next to my brother in a cell. No bail for me, man, let me out. Send me back the bitches that smell pretty. All I gotta do is call once and she there already. Yeah, buddy, can't you tell I'm going through hell?
Charlo defending his championship against Tony Harrison. Also, Jermall Charlo in action defending his title against Willie Monroe Jr. Very excited at PBC on Fox, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific time on Fox, and also Fox Deportes. Also want to mention that next Saturday's event is being brought to you by TGB Promotions along with Lions Only Promotions and DeBella Entertainment. And what an early holiday gift for fight fans in the New York area. Tickets start as low as $50 and on sale now. They're going quickly. Ticketmaster.com, BarclaysCenter.com, or by calling 800-745-3000. We have a dynamic night of action. Also have to mention, ABC on Fox will open up with a heavyweight showdown featuring 2012 United States Olympian Dominic Breazeale and Carlos Negron. But right now, we have the privilege of being joined alongside by an undefeated world champion who is coming off a win over Austin, no doubt, Schraub, from Houston, Texas. Want to go ahead and welcome the world champion, the WBC Super Welterweight champion of the world, Jermall Charlo. Hello. Jermall, you want to give a couple opening thoughts?
I just want to say, I'm super thankful to be on this, the call on the card that you and great fighters like Tony Harris. He's got for
Jermall, it's kind of hard to hear you. Can you, when I first spoke to you, it was easier to hear. Continue.
I don't know why you can't hear me, but anyways, I'm just thankful to be on this show, be on the card with, can y'all hear me? First of all, can you hear me? I don't want to.
Yeah, that's much better, much better.
Yeah, so anyways, I want to, say thank you just for everybody that's, made it through camp and doing what they got to do. This has been a long camp. It's been big. It's been bright, and I'm glad the world got a chance to recognize, the talents that we all have.
Thank you very much, Jermall. And before we introduce Jermall's adversary, Tony Harrison, I want to go ahead and mention that the Charlo brothers yesterday held a major media workout and a toy drive last night. Floyd Mayweather was in attendance as well. They were down in their native home city of Houston, and they got almost 1,000 toys for kids in Houston. So I think that was such a wonderful effort by the Charlo brothers and what they do for the community down in Houston. Now let's go back and focus once again on December 22nd with PBC on Fox. We'll talk about a young man who is from Detroit, Michigan. He's very hungry. He's a former world title challenger. He's coming off of 3 straight victories in a row. Please welcome Tony Superbad Harrison.
How everybody doing, man? Like I said, it's a pleasure for me to even, to get back on the stage. It's rare you see a challenger get 2 shots at a title. And, just for Jermall for being the champion that he is, for giving me the opportunity, Fox, Al Heyman, this is a great fight for the fans. And it shows, the kind of world champion you're dealing with in Charlo. And, to take a fight like this, seeing something that, him and his team sees. And, December 22nd, I know it's going to be just a dynamic fight. It's, the is going to be unlimited in the ring. What I possess and what he possesses. So, I'm just looking for a great night. Like he said, I'm glad he made it out, to camp healthy. And I made it out healthy. He's probably in great shape. I'm in great shape. There's no excuses on this side. Hopefully there's none on that side. And we just going to possess a good night of fighting, getting ready for the Christmas. And, and I applaud Charles for doing the exact same thing I'm doing with the community So it's bigger than boxing, and, you know, kudos to the Charlo brothers. And December 22nd is going to be a great night of fighting.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay, let's open it up for questions, operator.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. And I'm waiting for callers to join the queue. Our first question is going to come from Peter Lim from the Houston Chronicle. Please go ahead.
This question is for Jermall. Mel, if you get past Tony Harrison, how likely is it you're going to face Jarrett Hurd in the future?
Jarrett Hurd is another fighter that we're looking to fight in 2019. But Jarrett Hurd, you know, wants to fight someone else, possibly in his hometown, and build up a little bit more. I don't know why he took him forever to get ready for that fight, but you know, I guess it should happen soon too.
Okay, does Jaime Mangueira factor into your future at all?
No, I don't even think about that kid. Don't know him. He's with a whole different company, and with boxing being such a ununifying, you know, sport, we can't. It's not something that I know that I'll get that chance to. You know, this guy is signed with Golden Boy Promotions. They're across the pond over there really right now, and unless they just make something really work, then that's a fight that possibly could take his course. But right now, he's nowhere in my future.
Okay, is this something we can expect in the future, that you and your brother fighting on the co-main event in the card? Is this kind of a repackaging of your brand?
It could be whatever the fans want to, or the fans or the peers or the people want to think. Normally we fight on card together. We've done this a lot in our careers, so it's comfortable. But we normally you know, like to build our legacy separately. It's been different. We have different oppositions that we face, and it's not something that we continue to, you know. It was just around the time of us being both, you know, on our off season, getting back into boxing. And we both could take a fight at the same time, so it was perfect to put us on the same card.
Okay, this is a question that's on everyone's mind. Mayweather went to your event last night. Is he going to sign you guys after December 22nd?
No, I mean, we could possibly do some business together, but it won't be anything when it comes down to being signed by Mayweather. I haven't spoken with anyone on getting signed by Mayweather, but I mean, unless Mayweather want to make a mega deal and do something different in the world, that could possibly take us closer. Nah, we ain't interested. I'm with Lions Only, and I'm here to build my brand and build my professional company up.
Thank you, man.
Our next question comes from Keith Idek from theboxingscene.com. Please go ahead.
Yes, my question is for Jermall. Jermall, what do you remember from Tony Harrison's performance against Jarrett Hurd, particularly in maybe the first half of the fight, when he may have been doing better in the fight? What do you remember from that?
I mean, Tony Harrison is a fighter that, you know, he throws punches, and, you know, I'm not Jarrett Hurd. You know what I mean? My skills of boxing is way different. My style of boxing is different, and I definitely don't really care what, you know, he did. I remember fighting it myself and paying attention to that fight in the dressing room, and I was rooting for Tony because it came out like the dude wanted to win, and that's what I like about Tony. So, and I like for fighters to come in there with that mentality of fighting, wanting to win, and I know that's where he comes and possesses. So, you know, he was winning the beginning of the fight. You know, whatever happened, and that was all she wrote. You know what I mean? And he's a different fighter. Come be second because styles make fights.
Jermall, obviously, both of you guys do things in your own communities in Houston and Detroit. Tony was just mentioning how much he respects you and your brother, what you guys are doing down in your hometown. Can you maybe speak to what he does in Detroit in the community?
Yeah, you know, he owns a gym, which is dope. You know, I think I opened the boxing gym maybe a year or 2 years before him, and I actually picked attention to a lot of boxers and what they do for the community. Danny Garcia, he motivated me to get into, wanting to have a gym and taking some of this money that I make in boxing and investing it. And I'm glad Tony, do that for his gym, because also it's going to play a big effect in his career, in his life later. So right now, while he's trying to become a champion, he's able to still build the kids and build around him. And that's something that I do. I got a solid team. Maybe me and him could do a battle with his team and my team or something after this fight is over with. But right now, my focus is on defending my title. And, it's not about what he's doing. It's about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
So one last question for you. I know, in the past with some of your opponents, they've been disrespectful, and there's been some, some trash talk back and forth and that kind of stuff. But you obviously have a lot of respect for Tony. Tony has a lot of respect for you. How has that been maybe different in some sense than some of your previous fights?
Well, it's gonna see you guys will see on the Tony segment when it comes on the fight week. People have certain ways that they feel about certain things, and I don't care about how much somebody respects me or how much they don't respect me. I'm gonna still treat those fighters the same. You know what I'm saying? These guys don't come in here to beat me. My dad always taught us, any man that want to fight or put their hands on you, they come to still destroy you in some type of way. And so if that's what Tony come to do, then I have to defend myself in every manner that I can. It doesn't matter if it's in the ring, outside the ring. It could be respect. All of that could be done and said, but it's about the fight. The fight game is about really what's been built inside of me. I'm not worried about all the respect right now. He could be respectful and all of that, but he come to take my title, and that's messing up my legacy, and that's a whole different ball field for me. You know what I mean? And so that hunger is different. It's different inside of me. It means, I hope everyone's safe, and I hope it doesn't do too much damage. But I'm coming. I defend differently. I defend it with my life on the line. You know what I'm saying? And so, and if he feels that same way, it's going to be an exciting fight for the fans. It'll be a fighting fight for the TV and for whoever else watching. I care less about that promotional stuff and all of that. It is there. It's there. But at the end of the day, my life is at risk when I'm in that ring every time.
Thanks, Jermall.
Is going to come from Carlos Toro. Please go ahead.
Question for Jermall. Jermall, obviously, you're in this marquee position on Fox. Is there perhaps any more added pressure to have to deliver a memorable performance in front of a wide television audience such as Fox, or are you kind of approaching this fight kind of the same as any other?
As any other fight, regardless of, what TV network is promoting this fight or putting this fight on. I've been here before. I've done this before, and I have to continue to do what I do in order for me to eat. This is something that I have to go through. So, yes, I'm super excited about Fox being such a marquee television and network that allows more viewers to see what we do and possess. And I wish that a lot of people was able to see this beforehand. Then they would have a little bit more respect for me and what I do. So I'm glad that, we got this opportunity.
You were a few last week, I believe, that you were doing something a little different in camp. You were applying yourself more, listening to your coach more. Could you maybe kind of talk more about what's been different about this particular camp compared to others?
I've taken a lot of time to settle down within myself. I have everything I want, everything I need, and so it's no point of being disobedient to any of my people, and I think that I looked at my coach a little bit differently this camp. He's more of my general. He's like a father figure to me now. He's not a father figure, but when I go off to Dallas and do my training and stuff, I definitely pay attention to everything he's doing, and we're well plugged in with each other. We connect really well, and the greatest thing is that he let me do me. He let me be me in that ring, regardless of anything. If I feel like throwing a certain punch, hey, coach, look, let's sit down and talk about this one punch that I think I can throw well because my body allows me to do it. And so those are the things that I've been doing differently. So next, I'm gonna pull out some tricks out the hat. It's gonna be different.
And one question for Tony. Obviously, this is your first title fight, I should say, since losing to Jared Hurd last year. How much has that loss been kind of serving as motivation for you in these last few fights and getting back into title contention? Has that been any extra motivation for you, especially now that you have a chance to kind of right the wrong that you weren't able to win the world title in your last attempt?
Man, I'm not even thinking about Jerry. That shit was, 2 years ago? I left that fight right where I left it, man. I moved on. I fought 4 times after that. I don't need no more added motivation. I got a family I got to feed. I got people that's rooting me on. And just for me, man, I'm competitive in my own without nobody else. So I want to do it for me. And that JR fight, like I said, there was, it's a lot to learn from, but I let that shit back win. I want that fight back just as bad as Jermall wants it for the first time. So in order for me to get the motherfucking fight, I got to win the title. I know for sure I won't get it again. So for me, man, I just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, man. But I left this shit in the past. I had a great training camp, 2 months and 2 weeks. Actually, the longest I've ever trained for a fight. They usually get called 5 weeks, 4 weeks, or something like that. So, I feel good. Body feels good. Sparring partners was great. So, I'm focused on December 22nd. I'm focused on Jermall. I'm focused on WBC, and I just want to give a good show.
Thank you. Good luck to both of you next.
Our next question is from Nestor Gibbs from theboxingvoice.com. Please go ahead.
How you doing? Tony Harrison, super bad. What it do? How are you, my friend?
What's up, my guy?
I'm good, man. Happy to see you in good spirits. So tell me, are you going to dedicate this fight to the Crunk Gym and Adonis Stevenson for all that's happening with him and his trauma out in Canada, due, to the fact that you guys both come out of that Crunk Gym once upon a time?
Well, you know what, man? Like I said, it don't got to be a guy from Crunk. It don't got to be a guy I know. This is a rough sport that we in. Just like Pritchard, I pray for everybody to make it out there ring safe and go back to their families. So, it just hit a little more home that I do know the guy that, that's in that situation. But, I pray that each and every, like, for my son, I don't want my son to box. You know what I mean? Like, this sport is so dangerous. I pray each and every day that, I pray for my opponents before I walk in there and I fight them. So, it's a dangerous sport we in, and I think we all know what we signed up for when we signed up. But, that never hurts less when you see somebody in those conditions. So, I'm praying for him, and I'm praying for Adonis. I'm praying for his family. And, but like I said, I don't need to do it for nobody else. I'm doing it for me, and me only. I'm in there by myself. So I want to do it for me and my legacy. And, to be the first one to dethrone Jermall will be, it'll be stellar in itself. It'll go down in the books.
Well, Tony, I think everybody on the line would agree with me when I say that, you're a great boxer. And from the outside looking in, and obviously we're not in the ring with you, but it seems to be the stamina. Have you done anything different in training camp to make sure that you will be able to box as good as you do the first half and the second half?
Well, you know what, man? I think only December 22nd you'll be able to tell. Like I said, that's for my strength and conditioning coach. That's for my trainers to try to figure out what's going on. I think the other time I just overtrained. I usually get these big fights, and then I tend to want to, like I said, climb Mount Everest in one day, and I think that's what's been happening. But this time, like I said, I've been the guinea pig for my stable. We don't have any world trainer. We don't have any world-renowned trainers, or strength and conditioning coach, or a city that's more recognized than the other. But like I said, I've been the guinea pig, and we've been learning as a group. Together, this whole way. So I think they've gotten better with knowing how my body is and knowing how my body feels. Sorry it came from losses to try to figure this shit out, but I think they've gotten better, man. I think we've done everything together, man, and as a unit and as a team. So, you know what I mean? Nobody gets the blame, man. But, you know, we all been working together, man, and trying to figure this shit out a day at a time, and that's all we can do.
Well, wish you the best of luck, brother. See you on fight night. To Jermall, how are you? Lions only, how are you? Listen, I want to ask, obviously, this promotion has gotten a lot of push. It felt like a pay-per-view with the, you know, the Fox Fair Game, having Freddie on there, but also talking about this fight with the Fox bringing out their own show just particularly for PBC. I mean, the conference calls, the media workout that you guys did totally different from any other fighter, holding it in the evening, having a special guest like Floyd. How different is this from any of your other fights, and has it been taxing? Has it been, I don't know, overwhelming?
Nah, it's not overwhelming because actually whenever you put a camera in my face or you put a camera in my brother's face, we want to show the world Chris sharp. We want to be on cue with everything and on point. So it can be overwhelming. The only thing they can do is just push you to be in better shape and make you work harder. So nobody's going to get in front of a camera, not even Tony, and hit a bag soft with a camera in front of him. Of course not. You know, ain't no pity patting around us, period. And I mean, we always doing something different. You know, me and my brother are twins, and the thing about being a twin is that's automatically something that you have to show the world. The world has already seen. They got their eyes looking just because I was a twin, and that's something that I've dealt with when I was young. You know, as kids, every time you go to the grocery store with mom, you ask somebody, "Oh, are those twins?" You know, the attention was always there. They always want to know who was older. They always want to know, do I feel the same thing my brother feels? A lot of these questions is hell no. You know, I'm my own man, and I'm my own, and I try to do everything in the world to separate, you know, so people can understand the difference between us. But as well, there's things that I love about being a twin, and there's things that I take with the punch, you know. And so, we, you know, being into fashion and being into certain marketing things, and knowing that, you know, the business behind boxing is greater than just, you know, getting in the ring and fighting. It was my brother's idea to go to one of a large facility where people would enjoy being around us and put a ring in there, build a ring, and have special guest Floyd Mayweather. You know, and I'm thankful for him being able to fly in, and everyone knows Floyd flies on jets and different things. So him to come in and do this for us was major, and he sees something different in us. And speaking with him yesterday, he could feel the fire, he could see the fire and the thrive that we really have, and the world. I'm glad they're getting a chance once again to see us put this on and do this for the world. You know, like this is big for us in our city. You know, this is big for us in our legacy and our careers and everything that we build in the future. I'm the 22nd host, but I know that I'm getting there to fight.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Peter Lim, and this will be the last question for this group, and our next question is from Peter Lim from the Houston Chronicle. Please go ahead.
My question was for Tony Harrison, but it was already asked and answered, so thank you.
All right, thank you guys very much to Jermall and Tony for going ahead, and I want to, first, Jermall, you want to give some closing comments as you get set for a big title defense coming up next Saturday with BBC on Fox. So, Jermall, the floor is all yours.
I'm just thankful, just super thankful for, you know, allowing me to be able to show my skills and my talent. You know, this is something that God placed in my life, and I'm able to do this. I got a family myself, and I got a son that looks up to me, that watches. He's 9 years old, and I know he'll be in attendance or paying attention to this very, very closely. So, and I know Tony got a family, and I just pray that everybody's safe. But come the 22nd, I come to do some very, very different destruction again, and to build my legacy. And I hope that you know, the world get a chance to capture the moment.
Tony?
Like I said, man, we almost a week away. Like I said, it's one of the best camps I've been in. Like I said, once again, I applaud Jermall for being the champion that he is, taking this fight like this. knowing I'm not Trout, I'm not Lubin, I'm not Hadley, and you know, he sees that I bring a different kind of dynamic to the ring. I ain't 21, I'm not 20. I'm not gonna do all the jaw jacking. We ain't gonna go there. You know, like I said, I'm thankful that, you know, he made it out healthy. I made it out healthy. And come December 22nd, man, you know, he got something I need. He got something I want. I'm coming to get it.
Tony, thank you guys very much. That was Jermall Charlo and Tony Harrison. Now we shift our attention towards the main event. And if you guys remember at the press conference, the main event was determined because of a coin flip with heavyweight standout and heavyweight legend Jerry Cooney at Barclays Center. But we're going to get set for Jermall Charlo, Willie Monroe Jr. That is for the interim WBC Middleweight Championship of the world. And don't forget, tickets are going quickly. It's PBC on Fox next Saturday, December 22nd at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, brought to you by TGB Promotions, Ryan's Only Promotions, and the Bella Entertainment. Tickets start as low as $50. They can be purchased at the Marquee Lease Center box office or Ticketmaster.com. We're also 800-745-3000. Also want to go ahead and acknowledge Tom Brown and Brittany Goosen Brown, who, you know, they are promoting the show, TGB Promotions. But now it's set for Willie Monroe Jr., who is a terrific fighter with a record of 23 wins, just 3 defeats. He's won 2 straight victories. From Rochester, New York, please welcome Willie Mongoose Monroe Jr. Willie, if you have opening comments.
Is the Bella not
Hey, what's going on, guys?
PBC events anymore over on the East?
You have openings, some things to say to begin and how training camp was going, Willie?
I beg your pardon?
You just want to give your opening thoughts about your fight next Saturday against Jermall Charlo.
Oh, ready. Can't wait. Can't wait, man. Opportunity.
Well, now
finally got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can't wait. Just an opportunity we've been looking for. It's a blessing. Can't wait, man.
Now we'll get set for the champion out of Houston, Texas. He has a 78% knockout percentage. He's undefeated, 27 wins, no losses, 21 wins coming by way of knockouts. Please welcome Jermall Charlo.
Yeah, how you doing? How's everybody?
Jermall, do you have opening thoughts?
Opening thoughts, man. I'm ready to go. Welcome me back to Brooklyn. I get a chance to fight basically in Willie's hometown. So I know a lot of people expecting this fight is going to be fireworks.
And also, before we get ready for questions, we want to let everyone know that this is Jermall Charlo's 3rd straight appearance at Barclays Center. So he is really made, as he mentioned, Barclays Center his home over his last few fights with victories over George Highland and also Hugo Centeno Jr. So this is his 3rd straight appearance at Barclays Center.
Great. Let's open it up for questions, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad.
Hey, somebody put that asshole in timeout for posting fake news. Put that asshole in timeout. JK.
Our first question is going to come from Lim Satterfield for the boxing scene. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Hey, Jermall, I have a question for you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Blessed. I'm blessed. Ray just made a reference to this being your 3rd straight appearance at Barclays, but I remember telling you a while ago that Austin Trout said that after he lost to you, that Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez, those guys need to get you then rather than later because you're only going to get better. And this is your 3rd fight at 160. Do you feel he's correct? I know you made a reference to me that they were kind of avoiding you.
I mean, right now my main focus is Monroe Jr. Wise words from Austin Trout, but you know, with experience comes, you know, the matter of time. So, you know, we putting both together, and you know, like, you know, I'm really just learning on the job at the same time. You know, being in this position and being at the top level. So I guess, you know,
sooner or later I'll get my shot.
What do you think, though, about this being your third time at 160? Your first fight, you did get him out of there. That was, a little bit awkward, I guess, because of the knee. But the second fight, clearly you made a statement. And now this is your third fight at 160. Did it take you any time to acclimate yourself? Do you feel like right now you're a real solid 60-pounder, and this fight you're going to show even a lot more than your first fight?
Most definitely. My first fight at 160, it was the guy had hurt leg. He didn't give me the chance to show the fans and the people around boxing what I was, made of. But fighting Hugo, he only had one loss, and him being a bigger guy than me, that just let me know that I had future at 160. Now I'm fighting Monroe, who has experience at 160, and he's a big guy also, but not of my stature. So it's gonna be a tangle, it's gonna be a tussle. But I'm learning that 160 pounds is just like 154 pounds. My body's constantly growing, so I'm feeling out at 160. I feel good. This is probably one of my funnest and best camps that I've had because I got a chance to experience it twice already.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much, and good luck in the fight.
Our next question is going to come from Peter Lim from the Houston Chronicle. Please go ahead.
Hey, Jermall. What's the upside of fighting on network TV as opposed to like HBO or Showtime or The Zone?
Well, the upside is that everyone in the world get a chance to see it for free, and it's now it's almost like it's there for the people. And it's not like an option where you have to have money or you have to be a status or anything. Like it's like this will be at all bars around the world because normal bars don't play HBO and Showtime pay-per-view fights and stuff like that where they have to buy extensive cable offers to get a chance to fight in front of the world. And it's something I always dreamed of, but I would have never thought it would come this soon.
Okay. Willie Monroe Jr. doesn't have a very high knockout percentage. Are you expecting to just walk through him?
No, not at all. I'm when a fighter is criticized by his knockout ratio and things like that, you kind of tend to think that, okay, now he's going to try to develop more power, more snap or something like that, things you have to watch out for. So he's not like a wild guy. He's southpaw, technical mover, real slick boxer. So it's gonna be some times in there where I'm gonna have to really exploit the game plan that we have for him. So no, I'm not expecting to walk out and just and have an easy fight. So it's gonna be a big fight for me and Willie both.
Okay, thank you. This question is for Willie Monroe Jr. You fought two world champions in the past. How does Jermall Charlo compare to Gennady Golovkin and Billy Joe Saunders?
That's something I can't answer yet. We haven't fought yet. So I'll be able to tell you how we compare to those guys after the 23rd.
Are you a better fighter since losing to both Gennady Golovkin and Billy Joe Saunders?
I think I am. But then again, like I said, that'll be proven on the 22nd.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from John Gatlin from NewYorkFight.com. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Willie, how you doing?
What's up, bro?
I was going to ask this question of Jermell a few minutes ago and Tony, but 3 years ago, Tony Harrison was highly touted on the fast track to success and ran into Willie Nelson and, got upended there. We know that the Charlo brothers are gaining in popularity, notoriety, and all that they can do, the ability that they've shown, particularly the power. Do you think that there's an element of being overlooked in this fight and just used as a stepping stone so that he could position himself for a fight with Golovkin?
That all plays in my favor if I use it right.
people pretty much do what they're told to do. You know what I mean? People like who they're marketed. You know, certain fighters are marketed to like. A lot of people don't, you know, actually know a lot about any of us fighters. You know, they just like, you know, whatever the media says, that's what they follow. You know what I mean? It's like football, basketball. You know, one day they're a Lakers fan, the next day they're a freaking Golden State fan, next day they're a Knicks fan. You know, that's how people are. So, you know what I mean? That's really neither here nor there with me. You know, my job is to keep focused and handle the task at hand.
How disappointed were you with the results of the Sanders fight, and did you go out of your way for this particular training camp to prepare for a different result for Jermall on the 22nd?
I mean, I won't say I went out of my way, but we did what we have to do to prepare. Those are two totally different fighters. So you put together a game plan for what you have to deal with. But, I mean, the whole Saunders thing was, like I said, you know what I mean, what happened, you know, leading up to the fight and what I had to deal with in London, you know what I mean, leading up to the fight, you know, had a lot more to do with, you know, not to make any excuses, but it's just a fact, you know what I mean? And, you know, I didn't have the protection that a lot of other fighters have. You know, I didn't have an out or Cameron Duncan or somebody to make sure things were right. You know, I was signed to a pretty shady promoter that let some shady things go, you know, for his pocket. And that's fine and dandy because God doesn't make any mistakes, you know. 2 months later, I got out of the contract. Al signed me. I got 3 fights, and now I'm back on the main stage. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. And, you know, come the 22nd, man, I have to prove that I am one of the top in the world. I could do it, Al Heyman and PBC on Fox. You know, I'm blessed and elated at this opportunity.
All right, good luck, boss. Jermall, this question is for you. How good was the experience last night or yesterday to partake in that drive with Floyd? And all of that entails for the community.
It was great. The community came out. Floyd Mayweather Jr. came out. Shout out to him. Shout out to the people. You know, we raised awareness. You know, and we got toys. We got toys for the kids who are unfortunate enough to get toys for Christmas, and you know, just to see the smiles on people's faces. But you know, I got work to do. And that was my motto for this fight. So, you know, I appreciate everybody's support. And, you know, the major thing was that, you know, we got the job done and we got the toys.
All right. How important is it for you to not only capture the WBC interim belt, but to look good in the process and to avoid overlooking, you know, what's obviously a very motivated Willie Monroe Jr.?
We don't overlook anyone. There's no such. You know, every fight is a hard fight. That's how I'm coming into this fight. Willie Monroe Jr. has been in there with great guys and whatever, but this is a different fight. Every fight is a different fight. You know, you can't even look at my last fight and say that I'm gonna fight the same way, because you never know what to expect. It's how I make my adjustments. It's how I make my adjustments according to training. I'm ready to go. This what we do. This why you know, I make a living for my family. I put on for my legacy. So at this point, you know, I'm ready to go. Next week on Saturday, you guys get a chance to see, you know, again what I'm made of.
Awesome. All right. Good luck on the 22nd. See you then, champ.
Our next question is going to come from Carlos Charlo from the Fightful. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. A couple of questions for Jermall. First of all, I remember Ray was saying at the top of this portion of the conference call how this is your 3rd straight fight at the Barclays Center. After this fight, do you have any desire or plan to have a fight in 2019 take place in Texas, or are you fighting in Brooklyn?
I'm most definitely comfortable fighting in Brooklyn. But you know, the ultimate goal is to fight here at home in front of my fans, in front of my people. But, you know, like, I've never really been on that side of it, so I don't have any, you know, say-so to that as of right now.
Besides, Lions Only Promotion is doing great in Brooklyn, and that's where we campaigning there right now. I know I got a place at home, and I'll be able to make the fans happy sooner or later. But right now, that's my focus is to keep fighting where the fans are and where they're happy at.
You've held the WBC title throughout the majority of the year, and really, Canelo and Golovkin were busy having their rematch in September. But since then, WBC, they wanted you to face Golovkin, and now Canelo's facing Rocky Fielding. Do you kind of feel like you're being overlooked by those two guys, or has it been sort of frustrating having to wait until either of those two guys are free or say that they want to fight you?
Man, it's God's time. Of course, it could be something that I want or, something I'm ready for at the time, but it's all a matter of time, Either I fight him now or I fight him later. I'm only getting wiser, stronger, faster, and smarter, so they would have to deal with that as it comes. But, hopefully those fights happen for me sooner or later. But right now, my main focus is Monroe, and that's what we got on the 22nd. So I'll let those guys take care of what they're doing, over on their campaigns with Canelo and them and Golovkin. But sooner or later, they got to answer to Jermall Charlo.
And one question for Willie. You've been on a bit of a win streak since that loss to Billy Joe Saunders. How has the training camp, or at least not the training camp, but still the atmosphere of preparing for this fight, now that you're fighting in New York instead of having to go overseas to face Billy Joe Saunders, has there been kind of any difference in the mood around training camp?
Well, one thing that's been different is that I'm thankful to be with Al because I fought twice already going into a championship fight, whereas in the other position when I went over to London, I fought on HBO as the co-feature with Canelo when he fought Liam Smith, and I was supposed to have been fighting maybe 4 months after that, and I didn't fight until a year after that, which was the Billy Joe Saunders fight. And there's been, while I was under, the promoter I was under, there were two different times where it was a time where I was off 13 months and the time that I was off 12 months, not due to anything that I was doing, that's just the business. And, Al has made it a point to keep me busy. And a fighter like me who fights off skill, intellect, intelligence, moving, you need to keep a fighter like me busy so I stay sharp. You have different type of fighters. You have the fighters who rely most on power. You can give them a long layoff because they have what you call a game changer. Somebody may be able to outsharp them for 4 or 5 rounds, but then they may come through with their power and it may even the odds. So when you have a guy like me who fights off, super intellectual style, you need to keep me busy. And the money wasn't there. You know what I mean? I got to thank Al Heyman for giving me a good amount of money to get through training camp. You know what I mean? I was working 2 jobs and working a job under the table, and I was paying the few sparring partners that I could pay. I was paying them, $25 a round because we just couldn't afford it. And then, some of the guys that was sparring with us, if you hit them too hard or you go too hard on them, they don't want to come back to the gym and spar, and then especially not for $25 a round. So, for this camp, Al gave us enough money to actually put together a great camp. We fought twice. We're coming off of 2 wins, so we've been busy. And, I've been able to pay the sparring partners accordingly so they stay around. We had, some 6'4". We got about 3 different guys who are 6'4" cruiserweight. All 3 of them are undefeated pros, just to exaggerate the height and the quote-unquote power advantage that Jermall has. So we were given 9 weeks. I didn't take this fight on a 4 or 5 week notice like I did. When I fought the fight on pay-per-view, I took that fight on a 3.5 week notice. I just live in the gym, but we were given a 9 week notice for this. I was able to sit down, put them together, and create a camp accordingly rather than just coming off of just being in shape and going in there and fighting off of what I know. To be able to put together a great camp accordingly. So I think that'll play a huge in my favor. And this is the first time ever in my whole career that I've been able to do this, that I've been able to put together a full camp with the right sparring, have the money to bring these guys in the spar, and have a great schedule. You know what I mean? So under those circumstances, I feel like that just boosts my confidence, you know, in who I am and what I can do all around. And I mean, I'm sure Jermall and his team has put together a great camp, and I mean, I just can't wait to see what happens on December 22nd. Not only my outsider, I'm also a fan. So I mean, I'm excited to see what's going to happen myself. So I mean, like, I'm just ready. I'm ready, and I'm happy, and I'm excited about the 22nd.
Thank you, both of you, and best of luck on December 22nd.
Thank you, Michelle.
Our next question is going to come from Nestor Gibbs from the Boxing Voice. Please go ahead.
Willie, how are you?
What's going on, bro?
I'm good. Listen, man, you know, since this fight, I've been hearing you talk the way you're talking, right? Like, you're very excited. You feel like this is the best camp that you've had. And, I mean, you've got 2 fights coming into it. And, you know, the biggest thing that has to be said is you asked for this. So now you're saying on this call that you're 100% prepared, like you've never prepared, you know, that you got the best sparring partners like you've never had. So obviously you're leaving no room for excuses. What is it that you see in Jermall Charlo that you think you're going to capitalize on?
Oh, well, I'm not about to talk about that. You know what I mean? We ain't going to talk about what I can capitalize on. That's about giving away the game plan, you know. But, I mean, like you know, besides, you know, Charlo and the fight, I've always wanted to be on the power hand side because, and you know that, you know, we've talked, and they put on great fights, they put on exciting fights, and I just want to be in the mix, you know, more than anything, because when you're in the mix, you can come out as champion. You know, when you're dealing with a promoter that's just holding you, and then try to make a little money off it, it's hard to really gauge and really work and get into a mode. Like, I just like to fight. You know, that's just been me since I was a kid. I love to fight. I love the competitiveness. I had 142 amateur fights. I wish I had 100 more. You know what I mean? Like, fighting is just what I love to do. You know what I mean? And if you're that big guy on campus that everybody's saying no one can beat, then I want to try my chances again. Just like Golovkin. Like, I didn't have a big promoter or a big manager behind me and say, nah, let's hold off on that fight. Let's wait a little bit. I mean, I was pretty much still a kid when I fought this dude. I was 19 and 1. I mean, I was real early in my career, but I just let it fight. You know, I don't turn down no fight. I don't turn down anything. And this is a challenge. I love to challenge myself. I'm just very ambitious and vigorous like that. And, I mean, what Charlo has done in the boxing world, you can't deny it. So now I'm like, hey, I want to see if I can challenge myself to be one of the best, considered one of the best. And then how do you become one of the best? Or how do you be considered one of the top in your weight class? Well, you got to beat one of the top in your weight class. And you can't beat them if you don't fight.
I'm sorry. Is it any added pressure that the world is going to use this as a barometer and a gauge? Obviously, you fighting Golovkin and, you know, Charlo being the mandatory to that belt or having the opportunity to fight Golovkin, everybody wants to see what's going to happen. Does that add any pressure on you, or do you think the pressure's on him?
Well, the pressure's more on him. I think the pressure's on him because, you know, everybody's saying, you know, I saw some of the comments. I've been away from social media, so, you know what I mean, like, I don't even run my social media. Started for maybe the last 7 weeks. I haven't even signed in. I let my people run it. But, you know, I've seen the comments. I'm a stepping stone fight. I'm this, I'm that. Like I said earlier, the fans don't, you know, the fans say what they say, and then when you win, you know what I mean, then they're, oh, I knew you could do it, or I knew he was this, I knew he was that. You know, there's a lot of fans like the bandwagon. So a lot of that really doesn't bother me. It doesn't, you know what I mean, it doesn't shake me either way, because come December 22nd, man, it's going to be me and him in the ring. Can't nobody help me. Can't nobody help him, no matter what's said on the inside or outside. Jermall Charlo has to execute his game plan the best way to beat Willie Monroe, and Willie Monroe has to execute his game plan the best way to beat Jermall Charlo. And December 22nd, we'll just have to see who executes their game plan the best.
Willie, well, thank you and best of luck. Really quick for Jermall. Jermall, is there any pressure for you because the world is going to gauge you versus Gennady, or is this exactly what you want so that you can make that statement to the world and separate yourself from Gennady and the chatter?
I'm focused on the 22nd. After listening to this shit, do you hear what Willie's saying? He's happy. He's had a great camp. I'm glad I'm able to put other fighters in position and to be able to make this type of money at this stage and at this level. I'm glad that he's with Al. I'm glad that everything is where it won't be any excuses. And then on the 22nd, I better show the world why I'm so explosive. Why Golovkin and all of us don't really want to take this high risk, I guess so-called reward whenever, fighting with Jermall Charlo.
And like I asked your brother, with all the commotion of the build-up to this fight, because it really felt like this was a pay-per-view fight build-up with all the, media that you and your brother and all the fighters had to do, did it take anything away from the camp, or did you remain more focused than ever because of the limelight?
No, none of this stuff bothered me. We get cameras every fight. We get the light is there. My future is bright, so it's always right in front of me. I'm not worried about none of the talk and none of the so-called this, so-called that. I'm here to fight, man. I'm here to fight the best out there. I didn't get the best fighter out there to fight me, so I'm taking a fight with a guy that's right there in the rankings with me. So look, we're gonna make it straight. We're gonna make it do what it do. Brooklyn, the 22nd. That's all I care about right now.
Okay, that was all left.
If I could, obviously. Oh, am I on or am I?
Go ahead, Nestor. Nestor, finish your question.
All right. I was just gonna thank you, Lisa. I was just gonna say, Jermall, my last one. Obviously, I'm one of those guys that in the face of boxing.
I can't. Your phone.
Okay, I'm one of those guys. All right. I was saying that I'm one of those guys that criticizes Floyd for not doing enough for this generation's boxers. But then we see him in an open media workout with you. Not Floyd, but do you hope that all of you boxers can get along, old and new, and kind of uplift the sport a little better, the way that he did for you, but on a continuous basis?
Yeah, Well, I hope you hear me. I'm glad that Floyd Mayweather was able to reach out to me and my twin brother and be proud of us, and he's a big motivator to every boxer in the world at this moment. Being able to retire undefeated and have a game plan set up for retirement. That's a dream come true for, I guess, any boxer. So him being able to reach out to my city of Houston and let's put on a toy drive and raise thousands of toys for people that wasn't able to have toys was the ultimate goal, and I appreciate Floyd Mayweather for it.
Well, thank you, Jermall.
Right,
best of luck.
Thank you very much. Before we let them go, Willie, we'll start off with you. If you have any final comments before you get set for the, your matchup next Saturday with PBC on Fox from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, December 22nd.
I just want to say thanks to everybody that's part of this. Thanks to Al Heyman. Thanks to Fox. Thanks to PBC. Prayers and wishes to every fighter, on the card. A lot of people, talk a lot of stuff from the outside, but they don't realize just how dangerous this boxing world is. So, I have prayers and blessings to every fighter on the card, man. I'm elated, thankful, man. It's 5 days after my birthday, 3 days before Christmas. I keep iterating that. So I'm blessed, man. And thank you guys for, considering Willie Monroe, and thanks for the opportunity, man. And I promise I won't disappoint in 26.
Jermall, final comments.
We got another one. We got work to do. Brooklyn, stand up. Houston, stand up.
everybody that's supporting Lines Only, I want to thank them. PBC on Fox, this is bigger than pay-per-view. My prayers go out to Donna Stevenson. Like Willie said, y'all don't realize what we do, and we put our life on the line to entertain the world. So that's what we're gonna do, and we promise not to let you down with a great fight. And my hand will be raised, and this fight gonna mean so much to me. So I can't wait to get in there.
Jermall, thank you so much. Willie, thank you so much. We'll see you guys during Fight Week. Don't forget, PBC on Fox, brought to you by TGB Promotions, Lions Only Promotions, and DeBella Entertainment. Tickets start as low as $50. They're on sale now. Get them Ticketmaster.com or Barclays Center box office. Don't forget, it's PBC on Fox and Fox Deportes, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, next Saturday from Barclays Center. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you during Fight Week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. I'll disconnect and have a great day.
What's up? It's not a great card, obviously, but it's a solid card. 3 days before Christmas, free TV in the Barclays Center. In my opinion, Tony Harrison fighting Jermall Charlo has a better chance than Willie Monroe fighting Jermall Charlo. So let's talk a little bit about the fight and the card before we go, and I got to start editing some videos and getting caught up before the weigh-ins tomorrow. Also, later on tonight sometime, I'm going to cover the Jesse Hart, Gilberto Ramirez weigh-in. It's already happened already. This card should have been in Texas. Jared Swift Hurd, 154-pound IBF and WBA champion, he said his next fight is going to be in Texas. So now people are looking at the Charlos like, how is he going to get a fight before y'all down in Texas? Yeah, I feel. See, Willie Monroe has got to be sharp, but I feel he'll be of the utmost of sacred of meals. Tony Harrison, he'll be food. See, here's the thing. Jermall has shown some weaknesses. Jermall has been dominant. So we'll see, though. I mean, I get it. I know what's going on. Jermall, he's shocked that Jared Hurd wants to take another fight after beating Jason Wilborn. Remember, he confronted him in the ring after Wilder on the Wilder Fury undercard. So he wants to unify. Jaime Munguia, he's saying the right thing in regards to the truth. It's a promotional situation over there with them. And Jaime Munguia time at 154 pounds is limited. Don't be surprised if you see him at 160 in 2019. Jermall Charlo, WBC interim champion at 160 pounds, is the mandatory for Canelo. After Willie Monroe, who knows? They're trying to get Golovkin over there. Golovkin is supposed to be making his decision within the next few weeks on where he's going to go. He's already met with ESPN. He's met with PBC Al Heyman. And he's met with The Zone. If he goes over to PBC Al Heyman, expect for him to have like a tune-up-ish fight. Maybe one, maybe two. That's how they work over there. And then they're going to put him versus Jermall Charlo on pay-per-view. I'm sure they probably thrown a lot of money at Golovkin. I know they throw it all of them. I have an odd feeling he may go over there too. But if he goes over there, it's money motivated. But if he signs just a 2-fight deal, he can go over there. It'll be money motivated. And if he wins, against Jermall Charlo, he'll be the WBC mandatory for Canelo. But we all know The Zone has money too, a lot of money. And it makes more sense for him and for Tom Loeffler and the Superfly series. So the promoter has a lot of stake in where he goes to. can Showtime accommodate him? You know? So there's options, man. But for Charlo, if Golovkin doesn't sign over there, it's going to be more pressure and heat for him to go over to the zone. However, there is a purse bid that he can rely on. But is Al Heyman and Showtime confident enough they can win it? They got to take the chance. So put it this way. That WBC interim title technically is a lottery ticket, a big lottery ticket. Because either it's A, going to force Canelo or whoever has to drop that belt, or it's going to put them in a situation where they have to bid for the services. Canelo belongs on the zone. He belongs to the zone, making $33 million a fight. So they have to keep him on the zone. They have to pay to bring Jermall Charlo over. Jermall Charlo is going to get a very big payday sometime soon, within the next year and a half if he keeps winning, unless Canelo vacates. So he's in a win-win situation. He's going to, because you got to think the zone is going to make sure they pay as much money as they can for the fight to keep him over there. Meaning Canelo. And Showtime is going to throw in everything along with Al Heyman as much as they can to bring Canelo to Showtime for at least one fight for that fight. Because what happens with a purse bid is, you know, if the fighter loses a purse bid, then the promotional rights go to the promotional team that won the purse bid. They get to pick the network, everything like that. Even though the champion will get the lion's share, no pun intended, like 75% or something like that. I forgot the exact percentages. They're different for each organization, WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. Charlo was going to keep soft touches until he gets that big money fight. Well, the big money fight is going to be the purse bid. You know, whenever that comes along. So that interim title is a lottery ticket. But we got to go. A lot going on. It's the end of the year, you know. So I'm finally, like, this is the healthiest I've been in my adult life. So I got a lot of paperwork and everything to do within tax season, and we getting our trademarks and LLC and all that. So this has been a light week. But however, you already know on Saturday we're gonna be working our ass off covering all these fights, and then tomorrow's the weigh-in. So I'm already clearing my schedule up now to make sure. Tomorrow, Friday. Today is Friday. No, this is Thursday. Yeah, for Friday, Saturday, we good. Because Joseph Parker fight early Friday or Saturday morning. You know? So, I am going to figure out how to get my Anthony Joshua video uploaded that they took down. They also took down the stream. But we're going to try to work around that. So I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.